I've made over $100,000 in the last year as a 19-year-old agency owner. And no, this isn't gonna be a video about the watches and the cars and the parties or even the girls like some people in my space like to flex. I'm gonna give you the 5 lessons that I learned on this journey of making 6 figures as a teenager, and if you apply them, it will completely change your life. So today's February 21st, 2024, and on Monday was February 18th, the day that I turned 20. I started a completely new decade of my life. Now, how did I get to where I am right now? Was it luck? Was it handed to me? Was it overnight? I got to where I am today by first identifying my purpose, and it's really not as complicated as you think. You see, 3 years ago, I was a junior in high school. I walked down the halls, I had my headphones in, I didn't really talk to many people, and I would just wait until that last bell rang so I could go back home and watch more YouTube. But what started to happen was I actually got super sick. I was having severe stomach pain. I lost 30 pounds in a month, and my life just began to completely crash. Long story short, I was diagnosed with a chronic autoimmune disease called Crohn's disease. Not only that, my only relationship of 2 years was no longer. This was literally the lowest point of my life, but little did I know this was going to be the greatest moment of my life. You see, your situation doesn't define who you are, it should refine you into something greater. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, only converted. Finding your purpose comes from the fact that you understand that you have to control your present. It's about converting that negative energy into something that propels you forward, choosing delayed gratification over instant gratification, and taking new risks to open new doors. So when someone says, I don't know my purpose, I can almost promise you they're not taking enough risks or they're not sticking to something long enough. When I was a kid, I loved filming and editing videos. So during these trials in my life, I went back to that natural inclination and I began to build a skill, and that skill was content creation. And I built it so well, I was able to monetize it and monetize it so well that I turned it into a 6-figure short form video agency. So if you want to identify your purpose, think of the things you are naturally inclined to, take more risk, give yourself opportunity, and ultimately, persistently pursue your full potential and steward the present. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So you have to look at yourself in the mirror every single day. Tell yourself you're gonna be great, that you're gonna impact people, that you're gonna be valuable. Tell yourself that you're going to persistently pursue your full potential, that you're going to invest into yourself, and that you're going to fail, but you're gonna use it as a stepping stone and learn from it and be better off after it. You have to have a tunnel vision mindset on what you want, and then once you know what you want, you then lock your eyes on it, you surround yourself with people that will push you towards it, you consume the right music, the right food, the right environments that will push you there. And one day you'll literally wake up and look around you and realize that that goal and that dream that you have had has now become your reality. I'm filming a YouTube video.
How you doing?
All right, so we ran into another not-so-stranger in the Nashville streets. Blake here builds some crazy stuff. Your Instagram stories, I swear you're in a coffee shop like 40 hours a week,
Indeed, yeah.
at least. So how important is it to invest into yourself and to prepare the vessel for everyday battles?
So for me, I'm out here running, and that is like priority number 1 is to get that physical body right. That gets the mind right as well. So like that's like the whole thing with me. Like I got to get exercise in, got to get the food right, and that's everything. If I get that right, then I'm good to go.
So your thoughts determine your reality. As you grow and you attract higher value people and opportunities, you will then naturally repel those things and people that don't align with where you're going. And this brings me to the 3rd lesson, and that's to change your environment. You want to continually surround yourself around people, but also things that push you to be greater every single day. You can't be around people that are always smoking and drinking and partying and complaining. And maybe for a while it's going to be lonely because you're on this path yourself, but over time you'll naturally attract the right people. I moved into this exact high-rise apartment at 18 years old, and I only had 1 month's worth of rent to my name, and I put it towards that because I knew I was going to do whatever it took to stay there. I put myself into this environment because I understood the opportunity cost that there are high-value people here, people that are pushing others, people that are growing, because heck, the rent here is $2,000, $4,000, or even sometimes $10,000 a month. And just to prove my point, while we were filming this video, I ran into my boy Joshi Kobayashi. Joshua Johnson has been in the agency game for over 10 years now, and he currently runs an agency that does 6 figures per month. How important has it been for you over these years to have a mentor in your life?
The first thing that I tried to invest into when I got into entrepreneurship, my first mentor was actually a 9-figure agency owner. His name's Judge Graham. He's actually coming to our event in Nashville this year, which I'm super stoked on. Judge was my first mentor and basically showed me all the frameworks that he used to run a 9-figure business. So it's one of those things where it's like you got to get someone that is beyond what you know, your knowledge base, right? And it's like then you can, of course, teach people that are up and coming, just like you were at that point. I learn from you all the time. I watch your content. It's like even the way that you can hook people in, the way you keep attention throughout a video. I mean, those are all things that I'm still mastering. Now, I've mastered other aspects of business that maybe you haven't mastered yet. So kind of just having that always learning mentality, one, that's going to attract people to you, no matter if they're 10 steps ahead of you, 10 steps behind you. People are going to be attracted to people that want to learn always. Whereas if you're very arrogant, if you're one of these SMMA owners that are kind of coming up in the space of like, oh, I got it all figured out, now let me only go teach people how to do this. Like, you need to have both sides. You need to have people that you mentor. You need to have peers that are roughly at the same level as you, and you need to have mentors, people that you can look up to, aspire to, chase. Like, I want to bring in people from everywhere, because I can learn from you, I can learn from my mentors, I can learn from my peers.
Beautiful. That's all the questions I got.
Cool, dude. Thank you, bro.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
Now, environment is very important to me. I like living in a super nice place because it pushes me to be greater, to be around hustlers, to make more money. But also, we're out here in nature. Almost every single weekend, I force myself to go to some type of park or lake to unwind and not be so caught up in the business all the time. It's very important to understand where your body's at and the breaks in which it needs. It's not always about hustling 24/7, maybe 24/6, and then take a little break and not thinking about business or content or clients or any of that stuff for a little bit. Now, the final and probably one of the most important lessons that I learned was how to network like a king. If you've seen my YouTube or seen my Instagram stories, you can tell that I get around some pretty big names, some people that have built ultimate empires. And once again, 3 years ago, you wouldn't have known who I was. So how did I learn how to network like a king? Well, there's actually 3 steps to it, and it's fairly easy. The first thing that you do is you share what you know. There's not a lot of skills you might have starting off. So what you do is you share what you know. And this could be as simple as some TikTok that you saw that was valuable, or you learned something from my YouTube videos and you share it with other people. Or one of the best value assets that you can provide in a circle is really, really good and positive energy. That's something that lacks today. So if you walk in a room, have some vibrant energy, be positive and be optimistic for growth. Now, the second thing is you start to build a skill. You start to master a craft. And once you master this craft, you'll be able to monetize it, because money is just a mutual exchange of value. And the more you're able to provide value, the more money you'll make. And obviously you get into bigger rooms and around better people once you do that, not only because you've built your own name for yourself, but you can use that capital and invest it into events, into conferences, into really nice apartments. And it doesn't really get any better than the fact that you've actually built a business. You've built something of yourself. You've made a name for yourself. People highly, highly respect that. And that brings me to the last point, which is where I'm at now. The third best way to network is as you grow yourself, as you build your own empire, you start to share your network with other people. So there might be something or someone that an individual needs, and if you connect them to that, you become a very, very, very valuable asset, which can get you to even more rooms. So moral of the story, 3 years ago, not a lot of people knew my name. I had no value that I really provided to the world, but I decided to funnel that energy, the negative energy that I had during the chronic disease, the breakup, all those little trials in life. And what I did is I converted that into something greater. I chose delayed gratification versus temporary highs. I pushed myself, I put myself around a lot of people, I took risks. Moral of the story is you literally can too. It's about getting over those limiting beliefs. It's about turning your grave into a garden. It's about letting your situation in your life and all the past traumas refine you into something greater. It does not define who you are today. So all you have to do in order to be successful, to build your own empire, is to understand where you are now, nurture that, steward that, take risks, see what you like, see what you don't like, go towards what you do like, create goals, have a vision for yourself, lock into it, surround yourself with people that will actually push you, environments that will actually get you there. All it takes is a few months to lock in, completely change your life, and then you can build an empire and take over the world.